What's up, everyone? Kevin Allen here, aka the Geek from DFS Army, and we're taking a look at Prize Picks today, Super Bowl slate, and I've got 9 plays that I love for this Sunday's big game. So, of course, we love playing the props games. It's a really easy way to play daily fantasy. We're just going to pick some overs and unders and whatnot, and we're taking a look at the Super Bowl slate. And just before I get into the plays, I just want to give my overall take on the slate, which is essentially a high scoring game, right? I am betting the over on this game. I think both of these teams have just spectacular offense. I can't wait to watch it. But high scoring affair is the way I'm playing it. The Chiefs, they can score at will, and the Eagles can answer. And we've seen a lot of this Eagles team basically turning it off in the second half of games for a lot of part of this season because they've been dominant somewhat defensively or just not up against elite offenses that have made them work the entire game. So I think we're going to see specifically on the Eagles, a lot of players hitting their over. So right off the bat, of course, PrizePicks has a really, really sweet promo here with Mahomes over 0.5 passing yards. You can only max that out at $20 bet, but of course that is a lock button play. Now let's get into some of my favorite plays here. And the first one is Jalen Hurts over 46.5 rushing yards. And I'm just going to show that. I mean, he hits it. He's hit it 2 out of the last 5 games. Fine, whatever. But if you actually take a look at those games, there's quite a few blowouts in that mix. I expect that Hurts is going to be running all over the place in this one. I could even see him passing that 46 yards in the first half of the game. That's how much potential for running there will be in this one. Our projection model has him up over 60 yards, and I could see it going even higher than that. So that's an easy one for me. Jalen Hurts over 46 yards. If you want to see where we have our projections right here in our research station, and of course in our PrizePicks tool. So let's see if that's going, whatever. But Hurts over 46.5 rushing yards, confident play. All right, next up, we're going to take a look at receiving yards. And one of my favorite props for receiving yards or wide receivers on this entire slate, again, this one is Devonta Smith over 60.5 receiving yards. There is value on this prop on the sports book as well. But just generally, Smith has been a massive part of the offense. You can see he's hit the number 1, 2, 3, 4 out of his last 5 games. And of course, I'm expecting an up-paced game. We're hitting overs. We're hitting overs today. This is one of those overs we love. So Smith over. Let's put that in there. Smith more than 60.5 receiving yards. Got another really good one here for you in the receiving yards and under. Gasp, and under. Here we're going to take a look at Zach Pascal under 4.5 receiving yards. Pascal's the WR4/5 for the Eagles, and he hasn't been hitting these numbers. He's barely involved. This is the Super Bowl. They're not going to, he could get a catch and pass this number. There's actually an under 0.5 fantasy points effective. I think the 4.5 yards is better than the fantasy points one because there are just these other little ways you can get here without getting there. So I'm going with the under 4.5 receiving yards for Zach Pascal under the assumption that under the assumption that he simply doesn't play. And a reminder, we're giving out picks on PrizePicks every day across multiple sports. We got Sniper and Will in DFS Army chat giving out those plays. So if you're in DFS Army and you're in our Discord, of course, they're crushing 6-6s on the regular. We've got our incredible PrizePicks tool as well over in DFS Army. So make sure to check that out. All the links are in the description of this video. All right, that's number 3. Number 4, we're going to the receptions props here, and we are going with Noah Gray under 1.5 receptions. And once again, take a look. Noah Gray hasn't gotten 2 receptions in his last 5 games. So, he's 0 for 5 out of the last 5. He does tend to get 1 reception per game, but not 2. So I think there's a greater than 60% chance. Maybe he gets 1, but not the 2. This is an easy less for me. So we put that in there as well. And there's more. There's more. Sticking with the receptions props, Travis Kelce over 7.0 receptions. Once again, high scoring affair. He's been hitting the number just underneath 7, push. Only one out of the so over the past 5 games, he's gone over once, under twice, and pushed on that one twice. But again, the Eagles have elite outside cornerback play. Now they're decent at defending the tight end position. That's fine. But what the Eagles do best is defend outside wide receivers, which will push more targets to the tight end position. Mahomes is going to lean on his stud in the big game. He always does. I just expect more of the same. I think Kelce over 7, no problem. It's also got some value on the sports book. So really easy play here for me. Kelce more than 7 receptions. We got our 6-pack here. Here we go. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. All right. We're going to go. See if we're going to put one more in here, but I've got a couple more plays here. So a couple more that can't actually be included with this one. So I'm going to put this one in. Let's just get that entry so we can track it. And then I've got a couple more that can't be included with this one because they're Hurts and Mahomes. So these are fantasy scores, and these are my favorite props, more or less, is to bet on PrizePicks because, fantasy points is just kind of like what we do around here. So another one I really like for both Mahomes and Hurts over 22.5 fantasy points. Hurts always gets 22.5 fantasy. It's very common for him to pass it. And these are blowout games. So this was a blowout. I do not expect a blowout. Hurts is going to have to do a ton in this game. So that's how I'm playing it. I'm playing it high scoring. Give me Hurts over 22.5. Give me Mahomes over 22.5 as well. No problems there. Not going to lean heavy on the run here. You're going to have to throw for touchdowns. I expect the game to play to the over. These are really good to actually play if you're playing the over as well, and you can parlay them. A few different ways to approach these types of plays. Obviously, you can't do that here on PrizePicks, but we can combo a couple of these and just play it for the high-scoring affair. Hurts over 22.5 with Smith over. It's really good to tie in the correlative plays if we can. So Mahomes with Kelce, in little mini stacks, two-man stacks and whatnot. A lot of different ways to play it. Finally, one of my favorites here is the rushing attempts. And give me, once again, Jalen Hurts over 10.5 rushing attempts. And I got a little cute, interesting note from a friend of mine about this rushing attempt prop. Like, if you think the Eagles are going to win this game, right? And let's say they're ahead and it's 2 minutes to go and they got to run out the clock, or they just got to take a couple of knees. Every time Jalen Hurts takes a knee, that's considered a rushing attempt. So there's a little sort of like backdoor cheat code. You might be behind. It might be only 10 or 9. And it gets to the end of the game. You're like, oh, man, this didn't play out the way Geek said. I was going to get a ton of rushing attempts. And then what happens? Couple of kneels. And you're like, wait a minute. We just backdoor covered it. That's the stuff. So I don't even think you'll need that, though. Again, Hurts averages 10 rushing attempts per game, most weeks. Here's a 17, an 11. And again, these are some blowout games, or this was that. This was that Giants game, I believe, that was the final game of the season. That didn't really matter. The point is, Hurts has averaged just under 10 carries per game, and this should be a higher scoring affair. More action, more plays, more chances to run the football for Jalen Hurts. So once again, Hurts, I'll go through the whole thing here, but Hurts over 46 rushing yards, Smith over 60.5 receiving yards, Zach Pascal under 4.5 receiving yards, Noah Gray under 2 receptions, Travis Kelce over 7 receptions, Hurts and Mahomes over 22.5 fantasy points, and Hurts over 10.5 rushing attempts. Let's have fun. It's the Super Bowl. And remember, if you're not signed up for PrizePicks, you can, of course, check it out. Link in the description. If you do sign up with promo code DFSArmy, we're going to give you a month of VIP or 2 months of our props game subscription, which is really incredible. You've got two of the sharpest guys in the industry giving out plays every single day. check the Twitter. They're crushing 6 of 6s. We've got the incredible PrizePicks tool, and we're actually working on a massively leveled up PrizePicks tool that's going to change the game over the next couple weeks. So make sure you get in there beforehand. Promo code DFS Army if you sign up at PrizePicks, or if you just go to DFS Army, sign up for the props game subscription. You'll get all the plays from Will, from Sniper, from myself. You can do it that way as well. Good luck this week, everybody. Enjoy the big game. Get your wings out. Get your pizzas, the beers, the blue moons. I can't wait. I'll see you guys at the top of leaderboards. Take care.